you know that the Sheffield United players will attack absolutely everything. And judging by the first 10 minutes and the first few crosses or throw-ins into the box, it's caused genuine mayhem in there in the Arsenal defensive ranks.
So Maitland-Niles has got to get forward for them down the right-hand side, similar to the role that Tierney's got to play down the other. Here's John Lundstram. McGoldrick right in front of Arteta. There's Kolasinac, and then laid off by Saka to Tierney.
All a little bit slow, isn't it, for Arsenal?
Saka challenged over there by Basham. There's Kieran Tierney. David Luiz. Here's Mustafi. David Luiz into Joe Willock, and now to Maitland-Niles. Arsenal have proved one thing: they can keep the ball pretty effectively. Whether they can find a way to trouble the Sheffield United defence is something they might need to work on a little bit. Here's Stevens. Moves away from Willock. He's done well there, Stevens, and he got through the legs of Granit Xhaka. A little ricochet though, just took it through to Sead Kolasinac, and then stabbed out of play by Lacazette. There's Robinson, John Fleck. David Luiz battling with McBurney, and showed his strength there, David Luiz. He did well there under pressure. That's a foul by Robinson on Lacazette. I know the atmosphere is good for a lot of the Premier League matches, Steve, but this is the one today, isn't it, that I was looking at and thinking it would be absolutely jumping in here, wouldn't it, for an FA Cup quarter-final against Arsenal. It's good that we've got the football back, but it's a real shame that the supporters can't be here to enjoy this one today.
Of course, you'd rather have this than no football, but you're right, Fletch, of course it is. The PA announcer here was doing his best by blaring the music out earlier on, wasn't he? All the local bands were all getting a go, but yes, nothing takes away from the atmosphere of the fans, and you know how close it is to a possible Wembley appearance for both sides. So yeah, you do miss it, you really do.
Header one there by David Luiz. John Lundstram was trying to get there ahead of Kieran Tierney. Here's Chris Basham. Now John Fleck, that's a foul by Dean Henderson looking here for Ollie McBurney, and then the header one initially by Willock for Arsenal. I think one thing that everybody's noticed since the resumption is the fact that first halves have taken a bit of starting, haven't they? We've certainly had the more action and the better football in the second half of matches. We do tend to find these little quirks and trends, don't we, with different situations.
It's understandable, isn't it? And likewise, when you see a team come out really sharp, it's very, very noticeable.
There's an opportunity for Nicolas Pepe. There's only Alex Lacazette in the box, and that was steered behind by Robinson for the corner. It's the most promising position that Pepe's found himself in so far. David Luiz is on his way in there. Shkodran Mustafi and Sead Kolasinac have gone forward as well, so all three Arsenal centre-backs have gone in there. They've left Kieran Tierney back as the last line of defence. And Joe Willock has come out to take the corner. He's gone for the flat one and played it straight to Fleck.
I don't even know who he was trying to pick out. Is it Lacazette? I don't know.
Well, he's got the ball again now. We're looking, he'll try and do better. It is at Robinson. Here's Saka. And that's a free header for Chris Basham. Kolasinac wins the challenge with Fleck. Here's Bukayo Saka on this right edge of the box. Now Tierney. It's a heavy challenge. It's penalty.
Wow.
Just inside the box, it was Basham with the challenge on Lacazette.
I think it was inside the box. I just didn't think the challenge was that much. Let's have a look at it. He is in the box, but I don't know how much contact is there. Is he standing on the back of his foot? It's a little tiny touch, isn't it? There's definitely contact.
Let's just bring in Peter. Peter's watching as well. Peter Walton. Lacazette needs some treatment here. Peter, how did you assess that?
Well, I certainly think it was contact, Fletcher. It was in the box. I think he made the most of it. I really did. I think Lacazette made the most of it, but there was definitely contact, and I think it is a penalty.
Yeah,
I think it is a penalty now. I've seen it and had a look at it.
Shall we try Peter again? See if we
Let's
can get
see.
Peter.
Well, that is his job, so you might as well see it.
Are you with us, Peter? How did you assess it?
Yes. Well, when it was initially blown, the foul happens inside the area. So if there was a foul, it is a penalty kick. And when you see it from the angle that we last saw it, the low-level one, you can clearly see that he's come through the back of Lacazette, and a foul has occurred. I don't think it's a clear and obvious error, and I do think he'll be given as a penalty kick.
Thank you, Peter. There's concern here for Arsenal, though, because Lacazette's still struggling, isn't he, after the challenge? They have got Nketiah and Aubameyang on the bench, if there's any lasting problem. So it's a real opportunity for Arsenal, who thought they got a goal down, only to see Lundstrom's header ruled out for offside. And now the club record signing, Nicolas Pepe, has the opportunity to fire them ahead inside 25 minutes of Bramall Lane. It's Pepe against Henderson. And it's 1-0 to Arsenal. Excellent penalty from Nicolas Pepe, despite the fact Henderson went the right way, he couldn't get there. And it's Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, I wonder whether he was just caught in two minds, Henderson, because he seems to move when the ball's already being kicked. He sort of shimmies to either side but doesn't make a decision, and it's past him before he even decides to fall to his left. Doesn't go right in the corner, but it's a nice penalty from Nicolas Pepe. Not much of a run up, hard and low, right past Henderson. 1-0 up. Yes, it was a penalty. It was a poor decision making by Chris Basham there. Really poor. Doesn't need to even have a nibble there. That Lacazette gives him the opportunity to go down.
So Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1. Pepe with his 8th goal of the season. And it's addition of the John Lundstrom goal being wiped out by the VAR official Peter Banks, and then at the other end he sees Chris Basham concede the penalty for the foul on Lacazette, and Pepe step up to convert it to give Arsenal the lead. So don't forget, later on this afternoon we've got Leicester City against Chelsea. Two sides going well in the Premier League, meeting in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. 4 o'clock the kick-off there, 1HD and BT Sport Ultimate. We'll be with Arsenal on Wednesday night, 5:30 kick-off at the Emirates. They're up against Norwich in the Premier League. And you'll see Norwich on Saturday lunchtime, because they've got a relegation 6-pointer against Brighton. The coverage starts at 2:30, and we kick off at 3 o'clock. And from the start of August, Friday the 7th of August, the resumption of the Champions League, to be played to a finish with a World Cup style format, and we are thoroughly looking forward to that.
Interesting, looking at them at the break there, Fletch. Dean Henderson was really upset, came over and had a few choice words with one of the members of staff. I don't know whether it was goalkeeper and coach, but it seems to think that they knew which way he was. What I indicated, that they knew which way Pepe was going to go, and then somebody changed their minds or something. It was actually quite interesting to see them. Well, he doesn't really need to be upset, sorry.
Well, they've got an opportunity here, because Willock has conceded a free kick very much in striking distance. Norwood and Fleck over the kick-off there, 1HD and BT response if they could make something happen from here. And Emi Martinez is making sure he's got everybody in the right position. It's taking a little bit of time to organise the wall, which has 3 Arsenal players in, and then David McGoldrick standing just behind it. It's Fleck who hits it with the left foot, and the wall did its job, and then it was smashed away by David Luiz. Lundstrom clearing that ball away ahead of Bukayo Saka. McGoldrick looking to try and put Maitland-Niles under pressure.
Interesting, looking at them at the break there.
Here's Sead Kolasinac. Sheffield United have been conceding more goals than normal since the restart. They've been a very good defensive team all season, and Chris Wilder's going to be keen to get back to that. The injuries to the central defenders haven't helped. Jack O'Connell's a big miss for them. More defending here. Pepe, good save. Really good by Dean Henderson, plunging down to his left. Nicolas Pepe hit it really sweetly.
Yeah, nice play by Arsenal. Just a big punch up, but good link-up play. Pepe flicked it onto Lacazette. Nice touch and fed it back into him. Just fed it onto his left foot and smashed it low. Henderson was down quick, sharp, pushing it round the corner.
He's kept 12 clean sheets in 32 games this season, Dean Henderson, only 23. And he's been a real shining light this season and last season on loan here from Manchester United. In goes the Arsenal corner, which was headed away by John Lundstrom. McGoldrick helps it onto Fleck, and then back in towards Norwood. Here's Willock, and now Saka, and he's got Lacazette there too, and that was an important toe from the Sheffield United captain Norwood. Lacazette seems to be moving okay, Steve. I wasn't too sure about that, but
yeah, he does.
Seems to be fine. Lundstrom's lost it over there and then dragged Willock down. I wonder whether Paul Tierney, the referee, might go back and show a yellow card. He might show one for that, actually.
Yeah, I think he will.
Fleck with a challenge on Lacazette.
You see what Fleck was thinking. Lundstrom, I think, just stood on his own feet, I think, and Fleck wasn't having any of it. He was just bringing it down to stop the passage of play.
He's gonna
see here, just goes right through him. Doesn't want Arsenal to progress any forward. That was why he knew it was going to be a yellow card, but he just wanted to stop the play.
Just one thing to keep issue for John Lundstram, Steve.
Yeah, you see, there's a little coming together there actually. Willock does catch him a bit and then he just falls awkwardly, doesn't it? Lundstram. He's a big lad. For him to complain about his shoulder, he must have took a hefty knock.
In goes the Arsenal corner, which was headed away by McBurney. Relatively unchallenged in there. Maitland-Niles slipped as he played it. Basham able to clear it away. Certainly seems to have settled Arsenal down, the penalty, Steve.
Yeah, they're the one team who are actually trying to get it and knock it round. Sheffield United have been a bit more direct, trying to use McBurney and McGoldrick, where Arsenal have been a little bit more precise. I think they could be a little bit more quick with the ball, but still they are trying to knock it round, and they're a lot more confident now the goal's gone in.
Well, don't forget that during the course of the 90 minutes, the respective managers can make 5 substitutions. If the game goes to extra time, they can have an additional substitute. Extra time and penalties if necessary today. A good header in there by Stevens for Sheffield United. Here's Tierney. Now Saka. And an important challenge in there by Basham, who knew that he'd got to be clean with that one.
Yeah, they look much better, Arsenal, now. Just that little passage of play there, the last couple of minutes. Nice, sharp play. Passing through the lines, further forward.
This problem has persisted here for John Lundstram, and they've got Sander Berge stripped down below as Sheffield United, so it looked as though he's not going to be able to carry on here.
It just falls just there, isn't it? It's just very unfortunate, wasn't it? Completely accidental. I just hope John Lundstram's going to be okay.
Just saw the shot there of Mikel Arteta. I think there's got to be a certain amount of realism about the size of the job that he's got at Arsenal. You know, if they want to be back challenging for Champions League places and that kind of thing, it's a very, very big job that he's got, and he's going to need the time and the resources to do it. Anybody who's got a misconception about that is clearly going to be disappointed, because it's not something he can go in there and change in the course of a couple of transfer windows.
Absolutely not. He needs... Arsenal fans, unfortunately, are going to need a lot of patience. I think the economic sides of all that's happening with all the teams across the world, really. We know finances are not aplenty. There's going to be a lot of players have to leave Arsenal, and if players are leaving, even more are going to have to come in the other way. So they're going to have to be patient, take your time, and hopefully the people who are choosing the players at Arsenal, whether it be Mikel Arteta or Adu or whoever it is, makes the right decisions.
It can take time to change a culture, can't it? That is for sure. Well, it's been an interesting 35 minutes for John Lundstram, hasn't it? Thought he'd scored the goal to put Sheffield United in front, only to see it ruled out for offside, and now he's had to leave the field, and Sander Berge is forced to come on here for Sheffield United.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay. Can get back into the Premier League soon enough.
Sander Berge, who's on, is the club record signing in January from Genk. So an opportunity for him to make an impact here for Sheffield United in the FA Cup today. Henderson looking for McBurney, who flicks it on above David Luiz, and Tierney was helped out there by Mustafi. Here's McBurney, and now Berge. Norwood. Robinson out to Stevens, and then to Fleck. Got everybody back defensively here, Arsenal. Even Lacazette's dropped back into a defensive position. And they've got the throw in there via the deflection off Ender Stevens. did expect the Sheffield United team, Steve, to just try and play a little bit quicker today and maybe be a little bit more keen to close Arsenal down and be a bit more physical than they've been so far.
Yeah, I agree. I expected it as well. Especially the way Arsenal have been and the lack of confidence they've had, and of course their problems, or the likes of David Luiz. You think they go and close them down.
It's a bit better from Norwood. It's got Fleck on the move. It's a good challenge by Maitland-Niles. There's McBurney. And then the free kick's going to go to Sheffield United here. I think it's Willock who's flat out. So is McBurney as well. It's a collision between the pair of them.
Yeah, they just ran into each other again, accidental, sorry. Let's hope that both of them are all right. They're holding the faces. Oh, yeah.
It's a painful one, that. Both of them with their eyes on the ball.
Yeah, McBurney passes it, and then just as they carry on with the follow through with the run, they just run into each other.
It's a big size, this. Free kick launched forward by Basham. Up goes David Luiz. Ollie McBurney was challenging. Xhaka was in the mix as well. McGoldrick then beaten in the air by Mustafi. Here's Robinson. On by Stevens to Fleck. And then defended effectively by Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Pepe looking to bring it forward for Arsenal, and he's been fouled. It's been a really bitty stop-start first half, Steve.
Yeah, it's been slightly disappointing in terms of the quality. Yes, it's a battle, we understand that. Conditions are not ideal. Still, there hasn't been a huge amount of nice play, has it? Nice movement. Teams going forward, passing the ball well.
Lys Mousset, who's on the Sheffield United bench today, decided the league game here last October when Unai Emery was still in charge of Arsenal. It was 1-1 when the teams met at the Emirates in January. Arsenal have only won one of the last 8 matches between the sides here at Bramall Lane, stretching over a 29-year period. But they've got the lead today, And Nicolas Pepe is the man who scored the goal. Here's Saka looking for Lacazette. Breaks here to Willock. Now Xhaka. Maitland-Niles. There's Squadran Mustafi. Floating one forward towards Lacazette. Headed away at the back there for Sheffield United by Basham. Henderson decides to take a chance against Lacazette, manages to come out on top, and then that was a nice touch by Sander Berge, although it will bring the throw-in to Arsenal. The graphic there telling you that Arsenal lead, despite not having an attempt